Yeah, that's a little better. Maybe one more even. Just so even though it's warm, it moves. And now it's going slower. Oh well. Isn't doing all it will do someday yet.
This is perfect for me.
Then we're going to take you off that committee. Anything like that one. We'll be replacing you soon. Just kidding, Bill.
I'm just thinking if I was in Hawaii right now, I'd think, oh my word, this is perfect.
I know. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. I was trying to pretend. I was pretending Hawaii, so I could feel cooler. Okay, this is a time we do discussion, so anything you want to talk about, I think pretty much literally anything, is game. It's your turn.
When I'm sitting, my question is about a mind that's free of concept, because I don't know if I've experienced that.
Okay, I'm losing you. So, yeah, I got the first part.
Is that one of the goals, is to experience the mind that's free of concept?
No.
No.
No, but I'm really glad you're asking it like that. Well, I'll say no. The way I see it is it seems, at least in my experience, and you can, of course, check with yours, there's always some kind of appearance going on. Story, sensation, thoughts, and the mind makes concepts out of those very swiftly. I like it, I don't like it, or I can't let go of that, and the big story starts, He said, she said, then I said, then pretty soon 20 minutes have gone by. If I sit down in my session and I say my goal here is to get my mind free of concept, this is for me, I'll struggle toward that. And that goal leads away from relaxation. It leads away from awareness, because instead of simple awareness of whatever goes by, and awareness of, did I grab it? Am I holding on? Am I entertaining it? Have I let go? Instead of that, I'm on to a task to get free of concept. Now, does that go where you're going, or say more? Because we could say, what do you even mean, free of concept?
Well, sometimes, now even, I will have these thoughts that I really like, that I think are really good,
Yeah.
really beautiful, tender, compassionate,
Yeah.
towards everyone. And so, it's still on. I don't know, is it okay to just dwell there, or do I go try, is the goal to try to
Don't try anything. If that arises and you simply stay with it, by its very nature, it will pass. We don't let things pass through. It's like clouds in the sky. So many of the teachings work with that metaphor. So you're a kid laying on the ground, you're watching clouds, you might say, oh, that looks like a dragon, that looks like a rabbit. And then you make an elaborate story about it, and you just don't want that cloud to dissipate, right? Because you're having a great old time with it. Even a love cloud, even a loving kindness cloud. I really hope this one stays, because it's feeling so good. The difficulty is that hope, and that we're grasping at it. Grasping can be toward positive, toward negative. It can even be toward ignorance. I want to stay foggy. I don't want to wake up. Sometimes we even say that, you're starting to wake up from the night sleep, and I don't want to wake up. But we're like that on our cushion too. Oh, I'm so foggy, it kind of feels good. So we can grab anything. The concepts slow down naturally. Have you sort of experienced that as you sit? Thoughts go a little bit less sometimes. Yeah. That's natural. We don't have to go, this is my goal and I'm headed there. Rather, for me, what seems helpful is my goal is to choose my focus, then settle into it, then notice when I'm off of it, and gently, kindly go back to the focus. And I can even notice, oh, I really want to entertain that thought because it's pleasant or it feels good, but letting go there. Or, uh-oh, here comes some discomfort, pain, anger. I want to run from that, and just being with that sense of I want to run, and that dissipates. This is to me, the teaching of impermanence. We don't have to try to get rid of anything. It gets rid of itself. Have you noticed that? It just gets rid of itself. It's a funny way to say it, but by our very nature, the nature of every single thing in the universe, it is dissipating. So we don't have to get all trying for it. And the more I try, the more, by the way, my concepts increase. I've watched that too. If I try to head here, there, concepts about that increase. So then, as Bill said this morning, just go back to simple. Where's my breath? Oh, there. Get up close to it, right there. Okay, now I'm going off because I'm wondering, is that a long time for me to do that while you're watching? Okay? Yeah. Good question, though, Usha. Thanks. Addition? Anything? Please.
It's interesting just how pervasive this this notion that meditation is about making the mind stop. Mm-hmm. Somehow making something stop, and it's easy to kind of see where this comes from. There's so many. Part of it just becomes part of the culture, talking about meditation and stopping thoughts and whatnot. But and even some things. There's one in one of the prayers, the phrase. May my meditation be free from concept, but free from concept. It's not, my meditation is not, may it not be a kind of this intellectual toy that I'm trying to make it turn out according to a certain idea. So when the mind settles, certain aspects of mind activity, thought activity, may settle and relax, and stillness may be there. But if we really want to truly say free from concept, we have to go to kind of the next quatrain in this prayer, where it says Namtok Ngo Chukru Songpa. Namtok is, you could say, thinking. And I once asked Bokran Rinpoche, so what is this when it says thought? What is thought? And it's like, is it this kind of coarse pattern of things? Is it this very subtle? Is it just anything that's tinged by this sense of self and other? And that's actually that is the essence of concept. It's this twisted this twist on reality that's overlaid. And in that quatrain, the Namtok Ngo Chukra Slumpanching may the essence of thought is Dharmakaya. So the essence of whatever appears from this perspective, of this kind of confused perspective, the essence of the appearance is actually, we say Dharmakaya, and how to make this into something simple English, but Buddha nature, the essence, it's the essence, it's there. So then how do we look through this? And so allowing the thought processes to settle, allowing ourselves to meet our experience with fewer and fewer filters about how that experience ought to be, is that we're going in the direction of free from concept. And so thought may arise, but if it just arises as the movement of mind, and it's very clear what it is, it doesn't entrap us in any way. And we also make a big distinction. Well, I'm sitting here, I'm seeing all of this, but my thought stopped, so I'm free from concept. I'm free from mental activity. No, there's the vitality of mind and being is still quite happening, but free from concept is a much more subtle thing than just stillness. Stillness provides a basis for looking more clearly into awareness itself. So there's a utility in cultivating stillness, but that again, it's more a matter of allowing that to happen.
I liked what you said earlier about the emergence of Buddha nature or the experience of Buddha nature may emerge at any moment. Mm-hmm. And that arouses in me a sense of expectancy. Mm. And I wonder whether that might be problematic.
No. We have a saying in this lineage, this Kagyu lineage, no hope, no fear, no expectation, no fear. It's a good way to approach life and your session. But when I say no, I'm not really being facetious. We're just humans, and everything's going to rise in the mind. I'm going to grab onto, I got Buddha nature. I'm going to, grab onto, I doubt if I have Buddha nature. I got Buddha nature, but he doesn't have Buddha nature. I'm glad you're laughing. They do, but I don't, or I do, but they don't. That's why I say it's not a problem. What I mean is it's no worse of a problem than anything we deal with constantly. My heart come back to something Bill just said, and I can't quote it, but it's like what I was thinking was the first confusion. One of the baseline confusions is there's a separate I here. And of course, on a relative everyday level, there is. Zopa isn't Jennifer, Zopa isn't Matthew. Matthew's not Melissa. So we have that. But the more I solidify that and make that difference really important and then make it more different, I'm headed towards war. I'm not even being extreme in saying that. When we make the difference between I and other, and we cease to experience our similarity, our sameness as humans suffering, and humans sharing Buddha nature, when we cease to do that, we head all the way to, well, I not only don't like you, but I got to get rid of you, And so lately I've been saying that, Zen saying, no self, no other, no problem. It's a lovely saying to really ponder. How could that be true? How could it be true? And what would it mean anyway? But I know when I head that way, a certain equanimity rises in my heart. Somebody I'm really struggling with, I can think, that being is suffering. And they're creating suffering for others. And looks to me like they're going to suffer for a long time. So even I hate what they're doing, or I'm suffering from what they're doing, I no longer want to just kill them, or pulverize them, or yell at them, or any of that. Instead, I start thinking what would be effective in ending that harm. I was just reading in one of my teacher's prayer books, Thupten Chidren's, and there's this one dedication, I just love it. It says, without harming them, may I be able to stop beings from harm. It really says it in a very short way. How can I stop harm? And it doesn't necessarily mean physical action. It could be verbal, it could be mental. Stop harm without harming them who are harming. A really good koan to think about. And also seeing that the more I see other and go after them mostly verbally or mentally in my mind, the more I do that, the more I experience suffering. I'm already suffering. For one thing, my blood pressure goes up. You can measure your suffering, Your discomfort goes up, your unhappiness goes up. One teacher says, the first victim of doing anger is you, yourself. You're the first victim. And of course, since we're on a bodhisattva path here, we've said we don't want to harm others that way. And we really need to see how we harm ourselves. So that went kind of all around your question, but hopes and expectations, yes, they can get in the way. Anything can get in the way. And anything can be used as a key to liberation, because that's what we learn off of. There's the old saying, you fall down on the ground hurts you, but then the ground is what you rely on to get up. So even our suffering wakes us up, right? Someone says to me, why'd you come to the Dharma? I say, because I was a successful lawyer. I thought I was a successful mom. My sons helped me see some things there. But I had a very good life, and I was depressed. It was like, I got it. I was a woman that went through law school when women didn't. I became successful. I had good friends, a beautiful house, partners at times, not partners other times, a lovely son, everything. And I was so depressed. The suffering is what drove me to look for more. I have to look for more than this. So anything can help us. Can be transformative, as we say. Thank you for that question.
I had a quick question about what you both said about concepts arising in the mind and meditation. And if meditation isn't about ridding the mind of concepts, or ridding the mind of thoughts, stopping concepts, what have you, does that mean that it's possible for concepts to arise in the mind and for the meditation to remain free of concepts?
Oh, that's a good question, Matthew. So I'm going to say it back. So you're saying you're meditating, concept rises, and yet you remain free of the concept.
Yes.
Have you experienced that?
Occasionally and very, very, very briefly.
Okay, but you did experience it.
Mm.
Yeah. So what does free of it mean? Or what's it look like? What's it seem like?
Free
Concept rises and free of it.
Free of the impulse, free of the free of the reaction, I guess.
Yeah, there's this cool thing. I wish we had it here, the crucial point of practice. You know it, Bill, probably somewhat by heart. But there's this text, maybe 2 pages long, by Patro Rinpoche, and it's called The Crucial Point of Practice. And you're talking about it right now, which is the crucial point of practice is, oh, this so fits with what Usha said too.
That's actually, yeah, my question came from her question.
So you're coming off of that, yeah. I just saw that connection. You know, humans, we're just trained in concept. Oh my gosh, the 5 senses feed in, right? Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. They're feeding in right now. You're all hearing, seeking, feeling bodily heat, everything. But the mind, the 6th sense, 6th to 8th, depending on what lineage you're in, about the philosophy of how many levels of the mind. But we'll say the 6th sense is the mind, and the confused mind, and it grabs and makes story right away. This heat, oh my God, I can't stand this heat. This is awful. I've got to get out of here. I was thinking of a cool bathtub when I get home, you know. And off we go. But it's just a change in temperature going on. Some people would come in here and say, God, it's so cozy. I love this. It feels sort of steamy sauna. Nice, you know. Another person's freaking out. That's the 6th sense. But did you find it? Can you read the ones I'm thinking of? It's where it unties itself. Oh,
but this part's good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's hard. I'll let you read that part. I wanted to go to, okay. Yeah, but we have to describe the crucial point. This is worth sticking with for a little bit. It's called the crucial point of practice. And it talks about resting right within your present mind. You know, our calm abiding, settled into itself. If you know how to meditate, this is good, but do not know how to be liberated, your samadhi is like that of the gods, meaning it's very blissful and pleasant, but you're still caught in samsara. because the gods are not outside of suffering for the reason that they experience great pleasure and they lose it. Just like we get to blissful moments in our meditation, then we stand up and find out, our cat threw up on our rug and we're not happy. We've fallen from the God realm. It's crucial to gain the confidence of realization right within liberation. So you settle your mind, but we have to know the secret essential point of realizing self-liberation. Now that's interesting. But right back to where you were talking, self-arising, concept just rises. You didn't bid it. You don't make a plan. I'm going to have concept A or B. We do that sometimes, but in meditation we're not trying to do that. Self-arisen, it's also self-liberating. There's a line in here that says the snake tied into a knot just unties itself. You don't have to go up and untie it. So the concept unties itself, as I was saying to Usha. Just gently watch it. Don't entertain it. Don't add on. Don't push away. And see, it unties itself. Try to think one thought over and over and over without letting it change. Impossible, right? So the essential point is they're liberated in their own place. In their own place, which is in your heart mind. They don't go liberated anywhere else. They rise here, they liberate here. But we don't allow the liberation, is how I'm experiencing it these days. I don't allow it. Why? Because I have a habit of making a better story. Or as Usha was so vulnerable saying, but I like it. I like this. I'm feeling loving kindness. I really like it. It's okay to stay there intentionally and say, this is not calm abiding though. Now I'm intentionally staying in loving kindness, sending it out. So it's a meta meditation. It's good. You want to drop back into calm abiding, you let that self-liberate. Let it, just like a cloud goes away in the sky, you let it go and make no big thing of it. Bill's got a party he's all excited about now. We like this. We do this. We even do this when we're not here.
Following on the stanza that you mentioned, it says, through settling your restless mind, the samadhi of its still aspect, you may suppress your afflictions temporarily, but if you do not know the secret essential point of realizing their self-liberation, upon encountering the right circumstances, the rotten corpse of your thoughts will rise again. It's like when you get up from your meditation and you step in the cat vomit.
Yeah, and you're mad at the cat vomit. The rotten corpse of thoughts rises again.
But it's good to kind of be careful about the theoretical possibility for this, and understanding the inspiration, perhaps, but not allowing that to get in the way of actually becoming familiar with the process that you can cultivate, so that this is, it's not just a theoretical thing. We can say, oh, the essence of thought is Dharmakaya. Cool. I'm just kidding.
Because then the meditation, becomes conceptual. It becomes
Imprisoned by concept.
Mm-hmm, there we go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's,
And disguised, imprisoned by concept, but disguised as free of it.
Yeah.
We can really layer this on. I'm in the Dharmakaya.
yeah.
Totally. But there's an I there, isn't that interesting? So I just have to read this other one that when I first ran onto this, I loved this line. If you know the essential point of realizing self-arising, means things self-arise, you know, there they are, thoughts, sensations. I can't stop them, you know. I sit here and all of a sudden I'm sweating. I did not want to sweat, but I'm sweating, right? Then I'm cooling, okay? Self-arising. If you know the essential point of realizing self-arising and self-liberation, that it goes of its own nature, gone. If you know that those essential points, thoughts of adopting and rejecting are like sketches on water. You ever, like as a kid, draw something on water? And this is the practice of calm abiding over and over, and the practice of insight based on that calm abiding over and over can become such that the thought is like that finger moving through water. The thought doesn't even get a chance, because try and read what the finger wrote. Already gone. Fingers moving on, already gone, already gone. Isn't that great? It's so cool. I don't experience that much. I wish I did. But just knowing it's possible is very heartening.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
Thanks for these questions. All three of them have enriched that piece.
The doorway into this, the initial doorway in is through seeing this impermanence in
Yes.
a very, very intimate way, and that's still a doorway, because we still are going to have some sense of a thing that was there and then wasn't, but it's still getting us closer. It's getting us closer, and the more we can relax about the notion that there was a thing there in the first place, a thing that we have to say was it wasn't there, then it was, and then it's gone. That requires a deeper relaxation to actually settle with that. And kind of a deeper ability to be free from concept, as we're talking, but it's more a matter of relaxation and kind of the vividness of relaxation and clarity settled in there. But it's a gradual thing, and then something can click. When you mentioned expectation, and you could just replace the word in the essence of thought is Dharmakaya. You could also say the essence of expectation is Dharmakaya. So it could even the thing that you think of as the thing that will be the obstacle or that is the obstacle, looking into its nature, it's not the obstacle. But we do get wrapped up in our expectations, and once those become solid, and then we go sailing right on by the opportunity that was right there. It's kind of like, this isn't good enough, it must be something else.
Yeah.
And that, we're not there yet. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? He's like, are we there yet? The embedded assumption is we're not there, but it's closer than that. So, but it takes a lot of relaxation to actually become closer to it.
Change gears a little bit. Lama Sansing is giving a Medicine Buddha Empowerment this next weekend,
Good.
and I thought that I would go to that. And so I wanted to ask tonight about Medicine Buddha, the concept of healing in this tradition, and if you know stories about Medicine Buddha, or have any thoughts to share.
Yeah. Well, it's a complicated. I mean, these Buddhas are. In a certain way, they are on so many levels, okay? The Medicine Buddha, Venerable Children taught us when we did the practice, and much later I got the empowerment, was a being, a person, who made lots of pledges to appear in difficult times. Someone who said, I particularly like when we do our dedications, at the end of practices. This one said, I particularly want to come back when times are difficult and help heal the world during that time. There's a number of books on the Medicine Buddha. The Dalai Lama has online teachings. Venerable Children has online teachings. So you might want to look those up and listen. They're quite beautiful. The Medicine Buddha, kind of like the Buddha Amitabha, they were practitioners at one point, is what is taught. And then they practiced and made bigger and bigger pledges, aspirations and efforts. Now, all of those are changing their mind, right? Their mind. If I make an aspiration that I want to come back to the hell realm to help people, that's going to, if I really mean it, I really stick with it. That's really going to expand my courage and my, my grit and my love. So what's changing is the mind. So it's not like they're creating physical spaces like Amitabha has created Sugawati, but that practitioner made lots. This is one way to look at it. There's many ways. I want to say that is one way to look. That practitioner made many pledges in her mind. I want to create a place. I'm using Amitabha as an example. A place where people who want to practice the Dharma when they die can come and practice it easily, where it's not hard like it is in our culture. It's kind of hard here to do it, where the trees are, the leaves are saying Dharma, the wind's saying Dharma, all food appears as soon as you need it. You never have to work. You study and you meditate and you contemplate together, and it's perfect, and you very quickly fully awaken there. You're not born into a family. You're born from a lotus. So you don't have to have family difficulties, which do teach us, they do. But in they'd say in Sugawati, you don't even have to deal with that. You're all born from lotuses, you're all born equal, so no problem, So it's really the mind, So the Blue Medicine Buddha mind is focusing on healing. And always, every single Buddha is focused on healing what we've just been talking about here, the wrong view, the confused view of reality. That's the deepest healing. My confused view of reality is my deepest suffering. So to heal that through any one of these practices, and this morning this came up, each one of these practices, you do Chenrezig or Green Tar or Blue Medicine Buddha or Amitabha or Manjushri or on and on and on, hundreds of deities and Buddhas. Any one of them can lead to that freedom. that freedom from exaggerated difference, exaggerated separateness, exaggerated permanentness, exaggerated other. When those go, we know from our lives, right? When those things are kind of down a little, not riled up, I have a much better day. Just, it comes like that. So Medicine Buddha, a lot of healthcare professionals do that practice. It'll be, I don't know what Lama Sangsing will require. It's probably good to ask them. Some of the lamas now seem to more and more understand for Westerners that we're not going to take an empowerment and then do a long sadhana every day, an hour-long practice every day with mantra and visualizations and prayers and, so they will sometimes say, just do the mantra, 7 times each day, or picture the Medicine Buddha as much as you can. It's a beautiful mantra, it's a beautiful practice. Just to me, the dark blue color of the Medicine Buddha is kind of healing the minute I think of it. So I'm really happy you're going. And Lama Sangsing's just so cool. So yeah, just go and enjoy. I have started to call places and ask if I can, if they have a phone number, what will be the practice requirement. It's good to find that out, and then when you're there to say to yourself, or if you get a chance to the Lama, or to the assistant or the interpreter, I can't really do that whole thing. I can just do this, so that you're clear about what you've promised. Okay? Does that help, Juditha? Okay. But please do it. I love the Medicine Buddha. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm in the I was in the dental chair this week, and my mind will be wandering all over, thinking what's happening. And then I go, oh, I think I should bring the Medicine Buddha in here. And I just picture the Medicine Buddha like being on top of the dentist and the assistant and all the other patients in chairs, and just that, no big deal, just blue light flowing through. Or if I go in a doctor's office, it takes 1 minute, not even, I say, oh, Medicine Buddha's coming in here, It's just a nice way to calm your own mind, if nothing else. Yeah? Good. By this virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state. Thank you. This week we have Chenrezig Wednesday night here, 7 to 8. You can come even if you're brand new to that and observe the practice and then see if it resonates with you. We don't have mind training. We did that last week. I don't know. Any other announcements? Okay. See you soon. Please come back if you're new. Please come back if you're not new.